She could understand why it was so popular, with its sandy beaches and lively marina area surrounded by restaurants and bars. There were plenty of green spaces spread throughout the town, breaking up the rows of houses. It really was lovely. The sunlight was glittering on the water, but there was a light, chilly wind. She shivered slightly and wrapped her coat tighter around her, and trying to still the butterflies in her stomach, she took deep, calming breaths of the salty air. It was unlike her to feel nervous, but she told herself it was only natural to be anxious about her first day as medical director at the local hospital. There was no doubt in her mind that it was going to be the biggest challenge of her life to turn things around and improve its CQC rating. She had come to help, but she knew she would be resented by some. The ones who didn't want to change, didn't think they were part of the problem, though they usually were. She wondered about the chief executive, who she had only met when she was interviewed by the board. Was he a strong enough leader to drive the sort of change that the hospital needed? She knew he had been there only 2 years, but in that time had not managed to improve the ratings. It was only natural that he was in a hurry to put things right now, before he was ousted by the board, like Alison's predecessor already had been. No one had told her exactly why he had resigned suddenly, but there had been hints dropped during her interview about a clash of values, a disagreement over what needed to be done to improve the hospital. It had made sense, and she had thought it a good sign that the chief executive had stood his ground and the board had backed him. They could work together, she thought, and do a good job. At least, she hoped they could. With a final look at the town and the whitewashed villas, mostly B&Bs and small hotels rather than family homes that lined the seafront, she got back into her small car. Inside, away from the wind, she adjusted the rearview mirror so that she could see herself and ran her fingers through her straight, shoulder-length blonde hair, checking it was tidy and that she was looking businesslike and neat. She needed to make a good impression, not turn up looking like she had been in a force 10 gale. Satisfied, she started the car and drove the short distance on to the hospital. Her hope was that it would be possible to see the sea from her office, but she was pretty sure, located as it was at the back of town, the hospital would be too far inland. From the roof, perhaps? She parked her car in the staff car park and left a handwritten note on the windscreen. Giving her name and letting the parking staff know who she was should suffice. She didn't want to get a parking ticket on her first day. That wouldn't be a good omen at all. Grabbing her bag and locking the car, she made her way towards the hospital, a mishmash of the original building, which was a decidedly ugly tower block from the 1960s, and some more modern additions connected by a number of covered walkways. It would take time before she would be able to confidently navigate her way around the place, but she had taken a look at the map on their website the night before, and she had a pretty good idea of where to find the main administrative offices where she was to report to the chief executive, Brian Hargreaves. At her interview, she'd thought that he seemed nice enough, but nice wasn't what she needed if she was going to turn the hospital around in a short space of time. So she hoped he could be tough as well. She was looking forward to when she could get actually stuck in, because she knew that the morning was bound to be spent doing mundane things, like getting her ID badge sorted, meeting people, and being shown her office. It would be a while before she could get on with her real job. As she went towards the main entrance, she noticed how tired and lackluster the exterior of the hospital seemed. There were weeds growing in the flower beds either side of the path up to the door, and the whole building could do with a lick of paint. She had read the CQC report saying that the hospital was in need of improvement, but she hadn't thought they meant the structure. Perhaps that's what happened when morale was low. No one could even be bothered to keep the place neat and tidy. There would be time to address that over the next few months. It might not be important to have